Hey guys, have another knife review for you. Right now we'll be taking a look at this nice white box, and obviously there's a knife inside of it. Here you can see the name of the maker of this knife, Brous. It's Jason Brous. I'm sure you've seen this knife around lately. It's pretty sweet knife. It's a limited production. 500 pieces. It is Jason Brous's Silent Soldier. First, I just want to show you what comes in the box here. You have your certificate of authenticity with the date it was put together and a signature by the maker, Jason. It's in a plastic card holder to keep it nice and safe. You have a little instruction sheet here telling you the best way to flip the knife out. Then you have a business card. So pretty nice packaging here with some nice additional treats. But this is the star of the show. This is Jason's Silent Soldier knife, but sort of made into a flipper or folder design, which is really sweet. It's an awesome knife. This carbon fiber is just impeccable. It's perfect in every way. It's got a really nice sort of like a dull finish. It's not polished to like a really shiny polish, but I like it this way. It's still highly reflective, but it's just, I don't know, it's more subdued. It's just some really nice carbon fiber, some really quality stuff. As I said, it's a flipper. It has an incredible action on it. The instructions say to use it sort of as a button, so put your finger on the end here and push in, which works really well. But I also found that you can pull back on it like a just your normal flipper, because it is so smooth. This thing is probably one of the smoothest, if not the smoothest knife I've ever owned. It uses a internal ball bearing system, like a lot of the newer ZTs and Kershaws, and it is just liquid smooth. It is, it's incredible how smooth it is for, it's a relatively small blade, and normally when you don't have a lot of heft in the blade, it's difficult to get a nice flipping action on it because you don't have a lot of momentum with the blade. But this thing is just crazy smooth. It's a lot of fun to play with. It rockets out real nice. It's got a D2 steel blade with a extremely large, I believe it's like 7/8 of an inch finger hole in the blade, which, I mean, at first it kind of, I don't know, I when I first saw this knife, I have to admit I wasn't immediately drawn in. I didn't find it too appealing, but I saw some videos on it, and I figured I'd try it out. I just sold a couple knives, and I figured I'd try it out, and I'm really glad I did. It's a really sweet knife. It's a nice compact package, and it's just awesome build quality. The fit and finish on this thing is absolutely incredible. It's got very nice materials. As I said, this it's got this perfect carbon fiber. It uses a 6Al4V titanium for the pocket clip, the liners, and the backspacer, which also bears his mark there, Brous blades. It's got a very nice grip. It's relatively small handle, but I don't have huge hands. and it fits really nicely. You got nice choil. It's very nicely shaped. You can see the contours here on the handle. They, work perfectly with, conforming to your hand. And then, if you want something more aggressive, you could choke up a little bit up here and put your index in front of this flipper and pull back on it. It's a little dangerous, I mean, if you do some serious stuff, because the blade, the edge starts right there. But if you really want to get serious and you want to use this as a fighter, or I don't know, you're just going to be using it a lot, you can put your finger right through that hole and it just makes this thing, like an extension of the human body. It's incredible how this thing just melts into your hand and becomes, an extension of yourself. This would be a wicked, fighting blade. You can punch with it, slash with it, and never ever have to worry about, dropping it or losing it to the assailant, because you have an unbreakable bond to this knife in this grip, and it, really just feels sweet. So yeah, there's a lot of different configurations to how you can use this knife. It's got a Warncliffe style blade, with a total, flat edge here. It has a really nice swedge on the back, on the spine of the blade. Really nice, evenly shaped swedge. You have some really aggressive, nicely cut jimping here. That, it's just aggressive, but it's not really sharp, so it's not going to hurt you. But it's, perfect for what you're going to need it to do. You can see there's a center line running down the jimping that sort of cuts it in half. Just a little added aesthetic to the overall, look of the blade and look of the jimping. And it also adds to add a little bit more functionality to the jimping itself by creating more little nubs for your thumb to conform to. So let's see what else. The only real, it's not a problem at all. I'm not in the slightest bit concerned about it. The only, if I was going to be really picky and say that something was wrong with this blade when it came, the pivot screws have, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but they have some dings on them and marks on them, on this one and on this one. But I'm not concerned about it. It's not a big deal at all. The lockup on this thing is really nice. It's really early, and it is very easy to disengage, and it engages so nicely. Like, it's just, normally when a blade engages, it really like snaps. When the lock bar comes in, it kind of snaps the blade out to its lock position. This is just so fluid when it engages. You can see there, it doesn't even, sometimes you don't even know it engages, because you don't hear that thud. And this just, it's so smooth to engage and disengage. And regardless, you can open this thing nice and smooth, or you can really zing it out, and it still locks up in the same place, early lockup, and it's still just as easy to disengage. So it's real nice lockup, real nice smoothness to the lockup there. And I can't say enough how smooth this knife is, and how this is probably, I've had 3 knives so far that have had bearing systems. I had the Kershaw Tilt, the ZT561, and this, and I have to say that this is probably the best implementation of a bearing system that I've seen, especially since just how small this blade is. With both of those blades, the ZT and the Kershaw, you have a huge blade and a very stiff or tough detent. So with both of them, you know, you have a lot of detent to break, but this detent's not really. I mean, it's sufficient. It's definitely sufficient to keep your blade locked in the handle, but it's not like a super hard detent that you have to, you know, really push until it breaks. It breaks super easy, super smooth, with no problems whatsoever. The blade is pretty well centered. It's a little bit over to this direction. I mean, I'm sure I could, you know, fix that real quick with just a little Allen screw. But you know, it's so smooth and so nice that I'm not gonna mess with it. It's extremely solid. It also has a heat-treated pivot and stop pin, so that's gonna add to the overall rigidity of the knife. It'll make the stop pin and the pivot, you know, a little bit tougher. So, you know, that's nice, just a little added touch. Again, this is D2 blade steel, which is, you know, it's a good steel. It's got a pretty high Rockwell. I don't know exactly what the Rockwell on this this exact blade is, but in general, D2 CPM D2 does have a pretty high Rockwell, so it's gonna have a pretty nice edge retention. But the only thing is that it's just barely a stainless steel, so you really have to keep it lubricated, keep it oiled. I use I forget actually what I use. It's hold on. I use Rusty Rags, which is a impregnated sheep's fur or sheepskin. You know, with his proprietary silicone oil, and I use that for all my knives, and I really like it. It doesn't really leave a residue, and I haven't had any problems with it. So that's what I use. Alright, well, that's pretty much it. I mean, talked about pretty much everything on this knife. It's got a nice pocket clip. It's tip down only, but you know, it doesn't really matter. It's a flipper, so it's not gonna really make a difference. Yeah, so again, this is Jason Brous Silent Soldier flipper. It's an awesome knife. I'm really glad I picked it up. One of the nicest knives I have to say, and I would recommend to anybody that you get it if you find it appealing. Definitely don't hesitate. And from what I hear, Brous has incredible customer service. So if there's anything wrong with it, you know, just contact him. And from what I hear, he personally goes over every single one before they're sent out. So I mean, the likelihood of you having something seriously wrong with it is not too likely, but if you do, you know, just let him know. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and please like the video and subscribe to my channel for some more knife reviews. Thanks.